I wasn't allowed to touch any guns when I was a kid, so to me, I thought they were dangerous. I grew up to believe that they were bad. It wasn't even talked about in our house. And that's all I remember. That's it. I had no other interaction with anybody who had a gun, who owned a gun, until I met my husband.
So, you meet your husband, and he's a Marine.
Right.
And he sure knows about guns.
Absolutely. I knew he had them. I knew his father owned them.
I will admit that my wife and I didn't always see eye to eye on the best way to protect our family.
So we got a safe, put one gun in there, and that was it. We compromised.
So after all these years, what changed your mind?
We lived on a farm out in the middle of nowhere. My husband had just left for work. He worked nights 7 p to 7 a. And when he left, he called me within 5 minutes. And he said, you need to lock all the doors and get the children together. And I was like, why?
As I was driving up the road, I would say less than a mile away, I encountered local police cars, and they said that they were looking for somebody who had escaped from custody.
I was terrified because 911 police, they just react. They can't respond within 2 seconds. It only takes 2 seconds for somebody to come in and attack you. And that's when I decided I needed to learn how to protect me and my children much better. And that's when I asked them to teach me how to shoot. For quite a few days. We did a lot of gun safety, how to handle it, and I was very nervous. But as soon as I shot that first one, I was like, wow, look, I hit the target.
To be honest, my wife is a very good shot. For someone who at that time had never fired a gun before, never picked up a gun before, she was able, with her first magazine, to put all 10 rounds on target.
I got really excited, and actually, I felt more empowered.
You didn't grow up around firearms, so how do you teach your kids about firearm safety?
We started our children when they were very young. I think Remington was about 4 years old. We got an airsoft pistol. Set up a little target, and he was able to shoot. We taught safety with the airsoft pistol.
My kids enjoy going to the range, practicing safety, and at the same time, it teaches them responsibility.
So we meet the curiosity that all these kids have, and if you meet that, you're not going to have a problem.
My greatest concern for parents that are shocked that I would teach my children gun safety is actually I'm shocked that they don't. Those children are the ones at greatest risk, so keep your fingers straight until you are ready to fire, okay? And we're all done.
Okay.
Very good.
For me, I'm sitting here at 40 years old going, I'm only learning now in the last 3 years about gun control and laws and Second Amendment and how truly important it is. And so many people, I think it's a lack of education, a lack of caring. Oh, we live in a free country. You know, it's a few laws. But nobody thinks how it could affect them until it's too late.
What we're proposing is not radical. It's not taking away anybody's gun rights. It's something that if we are serious, we will do.
I'm a nurse. I'm in the business to save lives. I work in an emergency room. And I was watching the press conference that he had about Sandy Hook. It was 100 days post Sandy Hook. I saw those mothers standing in the background. My heart went out to them. And I thought, what are you thinking? The restrictions are not going to save more children. They're not going to stop these mass murders. All you're doing is restricting law-abiding citizens. You're not solving the problem. You're putting a Band-Aid over a gaping wound.
We won't solve every problem. There will still be gun deaths. There will still be tragedies. There will still be violence. There will still be evil.
He agrees that this is not going to fix any of the problems, and that's part of why I wrote my article. I was tired of being quiet. I would want President Obama to know that, as a mother, I want the right to be able to protect my children. Just like he has the right to have his children protected, absolutely. And until no evil exists in this world, you don't have that right to take that away from me. I am not going to be that 1 in 1,000 or 1 in a million or 1 in 36 people who are victimized, and neither will my children.
What upsets me most about most politicians, not only in New York but across the country, is that if they do understand what they're doing, then their behavior borders on criminal. It borders on treasonous.
Ban assault weapons because the risk is too high. This law is going to make this state a safer state.
I do not feel safe in New York. I didn't like the way Governor Cuomo overnight just put him into place. I think that was absolutely devious and wrong. That's not going to make it safer. All it does is limit my right on what I can use to shoot with. It's not going to take the guns out of the criminals' hands. Criminals don't follow the law. So why make more laws? And so we're going to be leaving the state relatively soon.
As a former Marine, I am very concerned about the future of America. As a United States citizen, I believe that too many Americans believe that they have all these rights and no responsibilities. When you forget to be responsible for the freedom that you have, that freedom gets taken away.
What concerns me the most is I believe that there's too many people who think that the Second Amendment shouldn't exist. And they will strip us of our rights if given that freedom to do so. And too many people have already allowed it.